Ladies, is he marriage material? Like, how do you know that the guy you're in love with, the guy you are spending time with, is marriage material? Maybe you're not even in love. Maybe you're not spending any time with anyone, but you want to be married someday. And it's rough waters out there. It's rough waters out there when it comes to love and relationships and trying to decide, to decipher, to determine, is the guy I'm interested in marriage material? Now, if you are the guy by chance watching this video, you'll want to pay attention to this, because if you want to be marriage material, I'm going to give you some really powerful insights, 7 key questions that you should be asking yourself whether you're marriage material. How to prepare yourself to be marriable. Is that a word? Is that the right word? Ladies, you want to know what to ask yourself, because if you have no grid, if you have no system for understanding, if you have no way to understand, you could end up with someone that you'll be attached to for the rest of your life in regret. My daughter came to me a few days ago. We were out somewhere and she goes, "Yeah, if you see somebody like that, make sure you introduce us." So I'm around men all the time. I've been in work with guys in professional sports and in business, and I'm constantly wondering, because I got daughters who are not married. I'm constantly wondering, like, how would my daughters decide if one of these guys was a good fit? Now, just know, your guy, dad, all the antennas are always up, and I'm always discerning, but I have 7 key questions that I ask so that, and I've been preparing for this since they were born, just so you know, but I got 7 key questions, and in this video, I want to share them with you. Are you ready? Here's the first question. What do you find captivating him? What's captivating him? Another way to ask this same question is, what do you find captivating about him? When I think of being captivated, or what's captivating him, what I want to know is, what has his attention? What is he focused on? What are his dreams? What are his visions? What are his aspirations? What's driving him? What's motivating him? What has him fully focused and energized and moving in that direction? And by the way, a man's dreams don't mean a thing if he ain't doing nothing with them. You don't have to fulfill all your dreams by tomorrow. Nobody gets to the point of their greatest accomplishments being fulfilled overnight. We get that. But a man with no dreams is a dangerous man. I once asked a relative of mine, I said, "Man, what are your dreams?" And at this point, he was probably 45 or 50. And he said to me, "Man, I don't really have any dreams right now." Within 5 years, he was no longer on the planet. I think a man with no dreams is subject to drifting. He's subject to being this today and that tomorrow, here today and gone tomorrow. A man with no dreams is a danger to himself and to the people who depend on him. And so you want to know what's captivating his heart, what's stirring in his mind. My wife said to me, one of the things that she fell in love with before we got married was that I was a man of dreams and vision. I wanted to go somewhere. I wanted to accomplish something, and I could articulate that, and I wasn't all over the place. Yes, things change over time, but my dreams are still essentially the same. My core dreams, core visions, core longings are still the same. What's captivating him? And what about him captivated you? What did you fall in love with? Did you fall in love with his veneer? Or did you fall in love with the very essence of who he is? Because, a suave dude, a handsome guy, a baller type, business mogul, whatever he might be, you can fall in love with him, but what's on the outside does not necessarily mean that what's on the inside is what you want. And I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying that what appears to be may not always be what is. And so, what's captivating you? Did you fall in love with something he said to you? Did you fall in love with his car, with an impression about him, something that looked good on the outside, but you don't really know him from the inside? This is making sense to you? So, what's captivating about him? What's his credit score? Yeah, if you plan to marry a man, you want to know his credit score. Credit scores are powerful indicators of how anyone handles money. Yeah, we understand people go through difficult times. We understand people may have filed bankruptcy because of some unforeseen circumstances, but those are the outliers. Those are the exceptions. The real thing you want to ascertain is, how does he handle money? Couples come to me all the time, and one of their biggest tensions, one of the biggest anxiety inducers in their marriage is how he handles money. Because when he doesn't handle money well, your anxiety is going to go to another level if you need him to and want him to handle money well, so that the home can be well established, so that there are means, so that you don't have to be living with a scarcity mindset. No, we can't do this. No, we can't have this. No, you can't pay for that. No, you can't buy that. That's a scarcity environment, and that is stifling for a woman. And there's no sense of security. And I promise you, there's not a woman watching this video, wherever you are in the world, who doesn't want there to be financial security. Financial security doesn't mean that you have to be a billionaire or a half a billionaire or 100 million, 100 times millionaire. It doesn't mean any of that. What it means is that you need to know that the finances are being handled in such a way that you're never going to be embarrassed. You're never going to feel ashamed. You're never going to feel like you have to be without the things you need to enjoy a decent way of living. And so if you partner with someone who doesn't handle money well, his credit score is bad, then just know that it is a precursor, in all likelihood, to how he will handle money if you marry him. Now, can he change? Can that change? Can scores be improved? 100%. I'm a witness. I was not good with handling money, and it cost me a lot of tension and loss of trust in my marriage to my wife. Now, we've been married for going on 35 years now, so I figured some things out. I figured out how to boost my credit score, how to use credit appropriately and wisely and healthily. I learned how to handle money, how to save, how to spend at the right time, how to invest, how to live with delayed gratification, how to make sure that there was room for my wife and my kids to have what they need. That came with change and growth, which we'll get to in a moment. But you want to know, how does he handle money? What is his credit score? What are his completions? What are his completions? I said, what are his completions? Where does he follow through? Like, where has he had a dream and followed through and delivered? Where has he given his word and followed through and made the impact he was supposed to make? A man who makes completions, who has a lot of completions, is somebody who gives their word and they follow through. You want to look to see, what has he accomplished that he dreamed about once? What did he say he was going to do that he actually did? Because talk is cheap. Anybody can talk about it. Anybody can say what they're going to do. Don't talk about it. Y'all know. Be about it. Do it. Show me. What have you done? Not what have you done for me lately? What have you done for you lately? What have you done to just keep your word to yourself? What are his completions? Is he the type who executes? I don't care if he's slow in execution. I don't really care if he's fast. I just care that he is consistent in executing. I want to know, if my daughters are going to marry someone, is he a completer? Does he complete things? What are his completions? Where has he followed through and done what he said he desired to do and that he was going to do? Now, let me just pause and let you ruminate on that for a second. And while you're ruminating, let me tell you about an incredible opportunity if you're already connected to someone and you're trying to figure out, should I marry this person, without asking the question, perhaps, should I marry this person? We've got the Intimacy Reset Challenge, which is a great space for couples, whether you're married or you're engaged or you're thinking about getting married. It's an incredible opportunity to learn how to build intimacy into your relationship, like that connection, that feeling, that consistency, how to really build safety in the relationship. I don't know, I'm talking physical safety, yes, but emotional safety as well. How do we build a kind of love, engagement, rich relationship that we really long to build? It's a 5-night challenge called the Intimacy Reset Challenge. It will take your relationship to otherworldly levels. It will take you back to those feelings that you once had, like when you first met. It will give you grounding so that when you begin to communicate, you actually can connect. So that when it comes to conflicts, you actually don't have to feel like we're doing this again and again and again about the same old thing. Imagine that. The Intimacy Reset Challenge, 5 nights, 1 hour a night for $297. $297 for this kind of equipping for your relationship. Where are you going to get that? And so I want to invite you to register for our upcoming challenge, the next one, and come work on your relationship. Come work on it. Let me help you. It's live. I coach you. And everything that I give to my private, high-paying clients, I deliver to those who participate in the Intimacy Reset Challenge. So I can't wait to see you there. And you should think about buying the VIP ticket, because if you buy the VIP ticket for another $200 each night of the week, you get access to a special session where I coach couples directly as they ask their questions. And so couples have said to me, this changed the game. This changed our marriage. This changed our relationship. One guy said, I went through a bad marriage and I'm preparing for another one. They were dating. They were in the Intimacy Reset Challenge. He said, I'm so much clearer now about who I need to become in order to deliver in this relationship. And she said the same thing. So the Intimacy Reset Challenge, make sure that you just click on the link and register and join me. Now let's get back to these questions, to our regularly scheduled program, as they used to say. What are his 3 biggest challenges right now? What are his 3 biggest challenges in life right now? Yeah, what are they right now? What are those challenges in his life? Because when you look at a man's challenges, it will tell you a lot about how he handles stress. How any of us handle stress is a real indicator of how we will handle stress in a relationship. So this is true. This is a true story. So when I was graduating from college, actually I graduated from college, I didn't have a job. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had a little Volkswagen and the water pump went out on the car, and I started dating the woman who is now my wife. And I was feeling the stress of, what am I going to do with my life? Where am I going to work? How am I going to make money? How am I going to keep my car on the road? And I was like, I got to fix my car. I ain't got no money. I got to do this myself. I broke up the relationship. I was like, I can't do the relationship and the car. Just so you know, guys oftentimes don't feel like they can do both. Stress makes us compartmentalize, and oftentimes we will set aside the relationship because we can't handle the emotional demands of that relationship and the demands of the challenges that we're facing. So I told Sherry, who's now my wife, after 34 and a half years, almost 35 years, I was like, hey, I can't do this right now. That's how I handled the stress. After about 2 or 3 weeks, I was like, I'll fix the car, but I want her. Y'all tracking? But how does he handle the challenges that he's dealing with? How's he solving those challenges? What's his mindset about those challenges? How did those challenges come about? If you're in a relationship with someone, you should just ask them, like, how did this happen? How did you get into this situation? If it's not apparent, not readily apparent, but more importantly, how is he handling the challenges, the financial challenges he might be facing? How's he challenging the relationship? How's he handling, rather, the relationship challenges, maybe with a family member or with a friend? How's he handling the challenges? How's he handling the challenge of not being employed right now? Is he gaming all the time? Let me ask that question here. Is he gaming all the time? Is he out looking for work? Is he going to school to further his education? Is he taking a course? What is he doing to handle the challenge? Who is he allowing the challenge to help him become? Where does he go when he feels challenged? Does he turn to substances? Does he prefer to party? Does he have a prayer life? Does he connect with God on any level? You want to see how he handles challenges, because that tells you how he will likely handle challenges if you marry him. So, what are his 3 biggest challenges? Who are his 3 closest friends? Who are his 3 closest friends? Who are his ride or dies? Who are the guys he hangs with and they're tight? You want to check out the circle around him, the circle that he's a part of, because a man is the result of his 3 closest friends. So if their movement in life is low, his movement in life will not be much higher if he continues to move with them. Are they the kind of people you enjoy being around? If not, then you should make note of that. If they are incredible people who inspire him and who lift him up and who challenge him and who support him, and that they have a real bond and they bring out the best in each other, that's a great sign of somebody who's marriage material, potentially marriage material. Who are the closest friends? It tells you so much about that man. Here's the last question. What are the biggest 3 changes he's made in his life in the last 5 years? What are the 3 biggest changes he's made in his life in the last 5 years? Like, he decided, I'm changing this. No, I'm not doing this anymore. This is no longer going to be a part of my life. It's what we call the pruning process. At some point, a person who is motivated to grow and to get somewhere, we begin to prune things away from our lives. We make changes, we make shifts, because we see that one thing that used to be cool for us is no longer helpful to us. And so we clip those things away. We prune them away. We make changes. And what are those 3 biggest changes he's made in his life in the last 3 years? A man who says, I haven't changed anything, you should be concerned about, because he's likely to be a person who never changes anything. And a person who never changes anything, who can't handle change, is a person who will be stuck. So that 10 years from now, you'll be married to a person who could not change with the changes that are natural and normal for life. I'm not saying change everything every day. I'm saying, what has he changed intentionally, strategically? What did he decide? I got to move differently. I got to move places. I got to move jobs. I got to move into another field. I got to change my circle. I got to change some things. That says a whole lot. It tells you about whether that person can embrace flexibility. And even if you are a stable, steady person, everyone has to learn at some point, on some level, to be flexible. So, did I give you all of the questions? Yeah, the challenges, the friends, the commitments, the completions, the credit score, the captivation. Hey, I hope this was helpful to you. I want to see you, if you are a woman, young woman, older woman, trying to figure out whether the man you're connected to, or may be connected to at some point, is marriage material. Go back through these questions and do your own evaluation. In fact, you can take each of those questions and you can score them 1 to 10. You'll get a total of 70 points, and you can see that, where it lands. And so if the person is, 80% of 70 points, which would be around a 56, you're like, okay, cool. If they're 50% of that number, like they're 35, that's way below average. I mean, that's average at best, but that's not, I wouldn't stick around for that. But if they are 80% or better when you do this question and assessments, it'd be worth sticking around. Hey, I hope this was helpful to you. I am Rod Hairston. I'm an executive marriage coach and relationships expert. I love helping people win in their relationships, and I'm glad you were here. Make sure you like and subscribe, and come on back for some more good stuff to help you in your relationship life. See you soon.